Hello guys, welcome back to our channel Medico Gyan, the final stop for all your medical queries. I hope everyone is good and taking care of themselves. Please subscribe our channel if not done already and press the bell icon button to receive further notification. So doctors, today we'll be discussing a very important and a common topic, capnography. So what is capnography? The capnography is a graphical representation of the CO2 plotted against the time, and it is plotted on two axes. If it is plotted against the time axis, this is known as time capnography, and if it is plotted against the volume axis, this is known as volume capnography. On the left side, we have a graphical representation of the time capnography, and on the right side, this is a graphical representation of the volume capnography. Time capnography is most commonly used. Now, what are the various techniques of measuring the CO2? The various techniques can be subdivided into four types. The first and the foremost is infrared spectroscopy. This is how the infrared spectroscopy is being done. The second is mass spectrography. In mass spectrography, what happened? The molecules are separated on the basis of mass charge ratio. The third is photoacoustic spectrography. And the fourth is Raman spectrography. In this, there is scattering of light by the gas molecule. So intense monochromatic light is scattered by the gas molecule. So now we will be discussing about infrared spectroscopy in detail. This is a schematic diagram showing the infrared spectroscopy. We are having IR filters and IR detector here. The infrared rays are absorbed by polyatomic gases like CO2 and nitrous oxide. Infrared spectroscopy has a compact design, it is less expensive, and it is more commonly used technique. What happens here is some of the rays will be absorbed and some will be reflected. Suppose X is a rays which is given and Y is a rays which is received. So X minus Y will be interpreted and it will be plotted as CO2 against the time. So this is how the infrared spectroscopy is done. The CO2 detection can be mainly done by two techniques. And the two techniques are, one is quantitative detection and another is qualitative detection. The quantitative detection is done by capnography, while the qualitative detection is done by calorimeter CO2 detector. What happens here is CO2, as you know, is an acidic gas. So there will be pH sensitive dye will be there. And how much the color is changed, it is the basis of the principle of calorimeter CO2 detector. It is a semi-quantitative analysis. Now we will be discussing about the method of sampling of EtCO2. Broadly, there are two types of method of sampling. One is mainstream sampling and another is side stream sampling. In the mainstream sampling, the sensor is located between the AT tube and the circuit, while in the side stream, the sensor is located in the ventilator. and thus the patient interface is heavy, while here the patient interface is light. There is increase in the dead space as the sensor is located between the ET tube and the circuit. There is no such increase in the dead space. It is difficult to use in unintubated patient, while this can be used in unintubated patient. In this, no sampling line is required, while in side stream, sampling line is required. There will be faster response time as the sampling line is not required, while the response time will be delayed in side stream. Frequent calibration will be required in mainstream, while there will be automatically calibrated in side stream sampling. So these are the main difference between the mainstream sampling, and this is how the mainstream sampling looks like, and the side stream sampling, and this is how the side stream sampling looks like. Now we will be discussing about the time capnography, in which the EtCO2 is plotted against the time axis. This is how the graphical representation of time capnography is done. In this, we are having phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 0. The phase 1 is the inspiratory phase, while the phase 2 is the expiratory phase. What happens in the expiratory phase is there is expiration of gases from the anatomical dead space. Phase 2 is increase in airway obstruction in patient with COPD, bronchospasm, and in cases of ET tube obstruction. This is a phase 3, which is alveolar plateau phase. In this, there is expiration of gases from the alveoli. Important is this, that the graph is in this point, the graph is not a straight but upsloping. There are two angles, alpha angle and the beta angle. The alpha angle is increased in cases of airway obstruction, while the beta angle is increased in cases of rebreathing. Friends, in the exam, we will be asked about certain commonly used graphs. So we'll be discussing about them. This is a graph showing the coronary cleft. This is seen in the patient on mechanical ventilation. There is a coronary notch here. The second graph of EtCO2 against the time, it is of rebreathing. What happened here is the EtCO2 is plotted against the time and the baseline is elevated. This is a graph showing esophageal intubation. What happens here, the residual gases will come from the esophagus and it will be measured by EtCO2. This is a graph showing CPR. The aim of the CPR is to increase the EtCO2 by 10 millimeters mercury. If it is there, it means your compressions are effective. Another commonly asked graph in the exam is this. There is a characteristic shark fin appearance, which is a pathognomic of bronchospasm. And this, there will be oscillations in the later part of the EtCO2, and these are the cardiac oscillations. This is known as ripple effect. Thank you guys for staying connected in this short video of capnography. I hope everyone understood this lecture well. Please subscribe our channel if not done already and press the bell icon button to receive the further notification. Stay tuned for my upcoming videos and do follow us at www.medicogyan.com. Thank you.